Gotta get my camera right here. Hello, appliance repair community. Fortunately, this is take two because my sound wasn't working. I did a whole video. I didn't realize my sound wasn't working. But we're good now. Yeah, I got this headset with a mute button, and somehow it got pressed. I didn't even. It's crazy. Anyway, let's get going. So, good morning, everyone. I am prepped and ready. I got my overnight oats. I've got my tea with lemon and ginger, some good stuff, and obviously I've got my victory party right there. So I'm a cigar. So we're gonna go over today Facebook Marketplace stalking. Right, we're stalking appliances, not people. So with this series, I'm just gonna go over live, go on Facebook, and show you what I would look for as a flipper. So I flipped appliances for 10 years. Um, so the appliance industry has always been a blessing to me. Flipping is probably the fast track to learning how to repair appliances because there's no pressure of the customer looking over your shoulder. You don't feel guilty for not knowing what you're doing and still taking somebody's money, So it's nice to be able to practice in volumes, and then it's very low cost. So like if you think it's a control board and you got another control board, you kind of take it off one machine, put it on that one. Oh, okay, now you know the symptoms of a bad control board. So it's so much. I'm at a point in my knowledge where I don't even really know part numbers. I just know, like, like, oh yeah, that heat element, no, that heat element will fit this one. Um, so between that and just symptoms, like if some customer tell me over the phone a symptom, I've got a replacement or fix in my head. That's probably 90%, and then a second and third one. But you're never 100% until you actually put your hands on the machine, install, replace, maintenance, whatever you need to do to fix that machine, and then turn it on and it runs. Then you know you're 100%. So that's the only way to be 100%. So for any uh, customers out there listening, yeah, you can't give somebody, nobody can give you a guaranteed, hey, this is what it'll do, this is what I'll do to fix that on your machine. So it's always guesswork. Even if you are 99%, you never know till you're actually there and hands on the machine. So anyway, let's do a little bit of general maintenance here. So I'm going to don't forget, whatever channel you're viewing this on, don't forget to like and subscribe to help support the channel. Uh, and we're gonna get into it. So a couple things. Don't forget to go to appliancefixacademy.com. Here I consistently load in training going on throughout the industry. So not just the training I'm providing, but like Hisense, this is their training, nothing to do with me, but I'm posting it on here so you stay in the know. And then tomorrow, I am partnering with American Vulcan Lockering Connectors, and they're doing their virtual class. And this is a scaled down version of their 2 day class. And they're going to be in the lab. And they're going to have the camera going, so it's going to be, a little nauseous with the camera moving, but it's going to be real training, no PowerPoint, in the lab, doing teaching you American Vulcan Lockering connectors, how to properly install them, how to uh, safely handle R600 refrigerant. And this is something, this isn't even an option. You must learn how to do this. If you're doing refrigeration, if you're flipping, you see a Lockering connector or you see R600 gas, that's it's coming, especially if you're doing warranty work. I spoke to a RSM with a manufacturer that told me personally, like if somebody wants to sign up to do service work for us, if they don't know how to use Lockering connectors and R600 gas, we don't hire them because it's senseless, right? Because a lot of all the new refrigerators are going to have that on it. Uh, so, and here's a pop quiz: if you don't know the answer to this, you really need to be in the class. Uh, what is lock prep? Right? So lock prep is what you put on the connector before you add the connector. You put on the copper pipe or the pipe, the aluminum pipe that you're using, and that it expires. So lock prep actually expires. So these are the things you need to know and some of the things you will learn in the class. How much lock prep to put on there? You put it too little on there, you can risk leaking. If you don't have a connector on there flush, you risk a leak. So definitely add this to your arsenal. It would definitely pay for itself and put extra money in your pocket. So anyway, go to appliancefixacademy.com and click on the tab to register for the class. Registration is still open. Uh, Another quick announcement. Don't forget to go on to join the Facebook group, Appliance Repair Community Network. Here I do share my adventures. Excuse me, throat dry. I share my adventures, and also you can post on here. We have Ben's Appliance, which is a great source of information. The guy really dives in deep on appliances and puts in a lot of work. Is definitely a credit to the appliance industry. My office help. I got them on here. I got everybody on here. So that helps you with your back end office and have somebody answer the phones. And so yeah, great resource. So definitely here for you to use. So with that said, let's go to Facebook and let's do some appliance stalking, right? Let's look. And so what I'm basically going to do is let you. So anybody that's into flipping appliances, uh, this allows you to get inventory. I do have a video on my page and on my YouTube channel talking about the different resources you can use to get appliances to flip. And also, I do have a downloadable PDF on the website that and a Facebook description that allows you to do checkoffs as far as help you keep organized with trying to get inventory. So anyway, so in the description I put dryer. The reason I put dryer is because sometimes you put wash, you might get dishwashers, uh, which is something you can flip. It depends on your business plan. But I put dryer here because I know washers will show up too. So, like a good flipping machine here is direct drives are always good flips, right? Direct drives is a technology through Whirlpool. It's a true. It basically means that the motor and the transmission is one. An actual true direct drive you mostly see on front load machines. The Whirlpool ones actually do use a coupler, but it's still it's not a belt. It's a coupler. Technically, is it a direct drive? We still call it direct drive, right? So it does have a separate motor and transmission. But this Amana is by Whirlpool. And so this Amana dryer is a great flip. Number one, they clean up very well. And looking at the description here, he wants $60 for it, which is kind of a threshold for a cost that will pay for something like this. Your dryer, it says dryer for sale heats up slow but still works. Oh my God, that is music to a flipper's ears. So if you see, even if you do a repair and they say, oh, it takes 3 or 4 times for it to dry, usually it's not the dryer, it's an airflow issue, right? Now, one thing you learn again, as you consistently invest into your appliance education and knowledge, there's many schools out there. I've got one now, but uh, you don't just be committed to one school. Learn from everybody, right? Uh, the, the three components of a dryer, right? To know how to fix something, you have to know how it works. Uh, Airflow, right? Uh, Tumbling and heat, right? Airflow is that vent, the moisture air has to leave the dryer. Tumbling allows air to pass through the clothes because they're moving around, right? Heat creates hits the air molecules when heats it up, and when the warm air hits the warm air helps remove the heat molecules. That's why you have a lot of humidity, and then that blows it out. So if it can't blow out the hot air stays in there and struggles with drying the clothes. So thus takes 2 or 3 cycles to dry. So this person selling this dryer most likely has an air duct issue. Uh, so on your inspection, when you go to flip these appliances, you do your initial inspection before you buy it. You go there, you open the door. I always check the door switch. A lot of times those are broke from people slamming the doors. Simple fix, $30 part. Again, always buy OEM. It's not worth the headache for. Some call it opinion. I call it a fact. Certain things just aren't worth the headache or experimenting with. Uh, there's only one OEM part for this dryer. There's a ton of aftermarket where you don't know what the quality is, who did what, and there may be some good ones out there, but who has the time to experiment with that? So let's go back to the OEM, original equipment manufacturer. That's what that stands for. Also, always pull out the vent screen, which is right here on top. Pull that out. That gives you an indication because you see that thing thick and it's a blanket. You already know, oh, that's the issue. When you're refurbishing this machine, you want to take off the rear air duct, vacuum that out. A lot of times there'll be obstructions in there. Uh, and then usually the start button sometimes will be an issue. That's easy to test with a voltmeter. And then the timers usually are a common issue on this dryer. This is something I would stock upon, are these timers. Some people have a hack where you can fix it, but we're not dealing in that. So what happens with these timers on this particular machine, and I'm sure the newer ones, Whirlpool might have fixed it by now, but on this particular machine is the contacts. So you have two bimetal components that touch. It's bimetal or it's copper, I don't know. That touch as you spin that knob. And so there's one that does the more work than any other ones, and that's the heat setting. And so when you got power going through two different contacts, and right when they're about to touch, as they get close, there's electrical arcing, a small spark, and that spark creates a residue, eventually making it so you don't have continuity, which means the electric cannot pass through. Thus, you're not getting heat. So that's a very common issue with this particular dryer. So long as you know what you're getting into, is well worth the flip. The dryer looks really good. They touch up very well when using appliance paint. Looks like $1 million. So this is definitely something. This is definitely a thumbs up for me. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see what this washer tub is about. In stock. So they try to show you the size of the washer tub. Here's a pet peeve of mine when flipping, and this is being sold by a consumer, obviously, right? And you want to buy your flips from consumers, the owners of the machines. I never take a picture of the inside the tub because it's all relative. Either it looks huge and then they see it like, oh, it looks bigger in the picture, or oh, it looks small and it's actually big. So it's very difficult to see. Even if you throw like a dollar in there, so people can have a sense of scale. Sometimes people just err, oh, that's small. Everybody wants a huge tub. So this is a stock photo, which is almost a red flag. So be careful of that. I don't know why they would put a stock photo in there, but this is okay. This is the machines. All right. So it's a matching set. It looks okay. That's not even. Why is that on here? That's not even. This is confusing. But okay, she got the real machine. Okay, this the model number sticker. So it's pictures of the real machine on here. I have no idea why they put stock photos. But these do look good. Yeah, I see if like it had a price or something. I don't know why they would do that. Oh, for the measurements. That's why they did that. They did that for the measurements. Okay, I get it. This is a great set. You can almost get front load type pricing for this Whirlpool set. Common issues with these machines. Let's see what you got on there. Works great. Works perfect. Only selling because we're moving. Pick up at St. Malo. Okay. St. Malo, I love it. Oh, they got a great golf course over there. So this is a high end neighborhood. So there's the trust factor with that. When you buy from a high end neighborhood, St. Marlow or $1 million home. So yeah, a lot of these people will definitely they're moving, but we're upgrading a laundry room. I usually believe that more in higher end neighborhoods because they're redoing the laundry room, and hey, they want to new appliances. So I get that. Anyway, this one usually the board's an issue. So that's a gamble with this machine. Usually the board exceeds the value of the machine typically. On this one. Easy to diagnose because of the light stuff. This does have diagnostic mode that you can put it into. So that's great if you're there. If you're there and it's still in the laundry room, or hey, you don't even need water or nothing. You plug it in the garage, at least see if it spins. That's one thing I always did when I test a machine before buying it for a flip. At least if it spins, okay, that's uh, anything. If it's spinning, Any other issues are minor, right? This has a lid switch, which typically gets broken from people slamming the lid down, or they'll yank it up because they don't know they put extra clothes in there and they don't realize these have lid switches that locks. I think one time I used to have a problem with uh, the water level sometimes. So, and another way to test these things when you're on site and if it's already hooked up, I usually put on the lowest setting and let it fill with water. And if it stops again, all right, major issue avoided. The dryers are solid. Again, direct drive. Dryer technology hasn't changed. The washers have changed to be efficient. Dryers have not. The element in this dryer is the same element you can get out of a 30-year-old, 20 or 30-year-old dryer for the most part. The little box element. Uh, yeah, the same technology, man. The door switch. So on these, you want to check the door switch. Great looking dryer, nice looking set. 300 bucks is a little strong, uh, but sometimes you can let them know that if it has stainless steel tub, that's a plus two. So you might be able to get like 450, $500 for the set on a flip. So you can make your money back if you pay the full $300. Another thing is if you pay more for these machines than you actually want to spend, uh, you still get your money back. Because keep in mind, so this is the type of machine. If I gave her $300 for this set and only made about 200 bucks or $100 on this set, I would post this as must have exchange, which means is if I deliver you this set, I need to get a washer and dryer back. And so that may limit the people you can sell to because most people that's buying a set don't have a washer and dryer. But it'll filter out where you only sell to people that maybe the washer went out and they want a matching set, right? Uh, and also those are easier deliveries because sometimes when you deliver it to a home that didn't have a washer and dryer, now there's a vent issue you didn't know about or the water, it's always it's something. Anyway, great set, good flip. And again, with any flip, if you buy it on Facebook Marketplace, you need to drop what you're doing and tell, hey, I'll come pick it up now. So one thing you gotta keep in mind is a lot of these people are getting hundreds and hundreds of emails. Well, 100 emails, right? I would say maybe 50, 60, but I'd say 100 emails. And so you gotta make yourself stand out and say, hey, I have a truck and I have a hand dolly. I can pick it up right now. And so I would say that so people will realize, oh, okay, let me pick this one because he has the equipment because this person isn't going to show up in a Ford Focus or a Honda Civic and try to put this thing on top. Or some of the hassle they'll get is people say, okay, I'll buy it, let me try to get a truck. you know and so they have that in mind. Or this person texted me and said they have a truck and a trailer and they can remove it. So that's awesome. Or you can even send them a picture of your setup. Show them your hand dolly. Uh, Whirlpool products are great. This one, so here's a red flag. Is a description? Oh, okay. It says gas in the description. Okay. Here's the thing you can look for. When you see this little square under the door, that's a peephole, so you can see the igniter on the gas dryer. Only gas dryers have this little square. Most of them do. Not all of them, but most of them have that little square, so you can test it and see if the igniter comes on. Uh, But again, be cautious of buying gas. If you're not in an area where there's a need for gas dryers, you may be sitting on that for a while, or that may be a good parts machine. So you can part it out. You won't get a heating element out of it, but everything else will be the same. All right. So that's dryers. Look at some front loaders. So you can say, ooh, this is 4 bones though. Let's see. Excuse me. This is a Kenmore set, like a matching set. These rarely have bad bearings, but with washers, the first thing you do when you go pick these things up, spin that tub, and you can see if you have excess of play or if you have a broken bearing. Uh, if you do bearing jobs, God bless you. But if you do a bearing job, then I would check your part supplier to see if it's available. Because if that bearing is in LA, then you're sitting on a parts machine. Uh, And if you're efficient, if you want to put in the work, I mean, to me, that's 5 hours. I always say 4 or 5 hours labor for a tub job. Just because there's things you run into like screws not coming off, or they'll break off, and then you have to tap it out and blah blah blah. So this one, okay, no additional pictures. So looks good. This is a bit of a red flag because no additional pictures and no description at all. Just $400. So might be worth a value here with this machine though is they're a little older, but they're on pedestals. People love pedestals. Uh, if you ever wanted to, or somebody say I don't like the pedestals, can you stack them? You can also sell these pedestals for a quick $150. Uh, so nice thing about front loaders, you can present different photos. What I used to do is, if you had the time, or especially if I had to get these downstairs or something, and it was better for me to take them off the pedestals, I would actually stack them on top of each other, take a picture of them stacked. And so now you can show when you do your listing, you can show them as a stackable washer and dryer, and then also show them next to each other. So it shows flexibility. So it gives you a lot of options, and because of that, you can charge more, right? So you get $700, $800 for this set. Yeah, you can easily double your money. It's a bit of a risk. $400 is a gamble if you don't have a lot of inventory. If you're tight on money or inventory, I wouldn't spend that much. I'll look for deals. Because if you get this, if you spin test it and you find out, oh, the board is bad, now you put another $200 into it, eats into your profit, and then you have to raise the price, and then you're sitting on it longer. Uh, so that's nice. Here's a nice one. Samsung. These Samsung dryers are jewels. One thing I like about them is you get the shotgun heating element, which you can use a restring kit on if you have that skill. Uh, Couple red flags on these is make sure. So when you take this, let me see, get a picture of the front. Okay, I don't know why no picture of the front. Oh, that's weird. Okay. So anyway, when you take this panel off here, there's another panel behind it, and sometimes that panel is damaged. So definitely make sure there's no squeaking and squealing on this dryer. He said no chorus. That's not a big idea. That's not a big deal. Uh, yeah, look, it's been worked on too. Cause look, the screws are missing. That's my eyes deceive me. I mean, I would maybe take a screenshot of this and zoom in, but it looks like the screws are missing. So it looks like it's been worked on, and he has nothing. Everything works, but no. Oh, okay. Here we go. The famous words: everything works, but no dry. That means it doesn't work. Oh man, people. So all right, so $80 is strong for for a dryer that doesn't dry. So it's been worked on. It's been looked at. I don't know by a technician or the DIYer. So most likely you're gonna need a heating element. So I would budget another $50 for a heating element, uh, and then some other maintenance items for this. It doesn't necessarily means it needs a heating element, but usually with these shotgun elements, usually it is an element and the fuses. So you got to replace the fuses too. So it could have been an overheat issue with the high limit got triggered. So, but good looking dryer. They present very well. The name Samsung resonates well with the general public. It's a big dryer. Reminds me of a Maytag. I'm gonna be surprised if they probably designed it. Uh, I think Kenmore might. I don't know. Whirlpool might. I don't know. They all partner up. So, uh, but newer looking dryer. It looks very heavy duty. Worth the flip. Even if you paid the full $80, it still replaced it. Still be a good flip. And then you're selling a dryer, so most likely you'll get a dryer back. So you'll get so that'll pay for itself. Here's one of my favorites. Made these older Maytag dryers, man. These things are old, but man, they are tanks, and they're huge. The tubs are huge in these things, especially the washers too. But this is the dryer. Uh, Key issues with these is the heating element. These things used to have like a wax motor in them. I don't know if they still do. Everything else usually fine. Usually it's 100% the heating element. This little panel, front panel comes off. This top panel flips up. And the element, I think this one has a square flat element on the lower left hand side, or the small one up here in the corner. I think this one has the flat one in the back, I believe. Electric dryer works great. Yeah, these rarely go bad. To be honest with you, uh, even they could take a lot of abuse. So great dryers. Definitely. Oh, so here's another thing I wanted to point out. When you're testing a dryer, watch out for fluff air. Fluff air, time dry, fluff. So, and this is something you explain when you drop off, when you sell these things too. Uh, Fluff air. Sometimes a person will click that by mistake, and now they think, "Oh, I put my clothes in there, and they're soaking wet. Must need a heat element." Nope. Most likely the fluff air is a no heat setting. So that's great for like your gym clothes and stuff like that. Stuff you normally want to air dry. You want to last a long time and not get damaged by heat. I use fluff air. I use that on a lot of my clothes. So yeah, this is a great dryer. Look at that inside. Yeah, boom, huge. Uh, yeah, these are great flips. Good flip, man. At least this is at least a $200 dryer, 250, just because of how it looks and how big and heavy duty it is. And you rarely get callbacks on this type one. And this is a Atlantis by Maytag. I love the washers too. If you get a matching set on that, man, that is money. So yep. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff I would get on here. LG washers are money. This is a dryer. This is a screenshot, which is a red flag. So be careful of that. And as with everything, you don't want to be given cash when it comes to buying stuff on Facebook. Excuse me, giving cash. Got that mixed up. Don't pay up front. Don't pay nobody to hold it, or somebody say, "Oh, you send me some money and I'll hold it for you. Only give me $20." Well, they'll take everybody's $20 and make money. So you don't want to do that. Just or if you do it, make sure it's money you're willing to lose. Uh, but definitely pay. Now, paying with Venmo and Cash App, once you're there, there's nothing bad about that. Once you pay with Venmo or Cash App, that money is never coming back to you. So make sure you send it to the right person or the person that's there. Um, but yeah, so it's LG dryer, looks nice. Oh, this is being sold by a flipper. 180. Wow, that's cheap. I would probably buy this from him, knowing it's fixed and it has a warranty, and resell it for like 250. Or if you got a matching washer. So sometimes you'll do that too. If you have like a product that's sitting, let's say you got a like one time I think I had a red wash machine and nobody wanted to buy it without a matching dryer. So I found a red dryer that I paid way more than I wanted to pay for, but I was able to make up for it by increasing the pricing because I had a matching set. So any questions? Leave questions in the comment section. Uh, I'm going to do this periodically, just kind of randomly go through Facebook and look at good flips, man. Kind of talk about some of these machines and brands and some of these older machines. Uh, these are money. These should be your base. This is your business builder right here. These Whirlpool. This is an estate series by Whirlpool. Estate series, Amana, Whirlpool. What's another one starts with an E? Okay, not it's another one. That's estate, not just estate. But anyway, these are direct dries, man. Different name, same dryer, same elements, same fuses. A lot of the same parts that can be intermatched in Frankenstein to keep your to make a machine. These are great. These are well worth the investment. Even if you pay too much for it just to get it, it's worth it. They're great. Very sensitive to clogged up air ducts though. So I always teach that you can even buy get a 2x4 and cut it up to like 3 to 4 inch sections and stick them behind the dryers. When you deliver them, stick them behind it. That way they can never push it all the way back, and it sits there as a protector. Even tell them what you're doing so they know, so that thing won't get pinched and you won't be getting called back for a recall. Um, so I'm gonna keep this kind of short. And this is uh, Facebook flipping. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. Don't forget to go to appliancefixacademy.com. and participate in training. Let's help elevate the industry. Let's get this information out there. We don't forget to attend. We do have a 4-day sealed systems class, right? Sealed systems is good revenue, less work and good revenue, right? So you either go fix 4 dryers or one sealed system, right? It's up to you, or do both, right? But we have a 4-day sealed systems class coming up. It teaches brazing and lockering, right? So you're gonna learn both, especially if you're touching older appliances. So you're gonna learn both from our expert instructors that worked in the field, now do full-time training. So any questions, don't forget to email me, rwilliams at appliancefixacademy.com. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Now, y'all get out there and go fix something.